When I first saw him, I swear to God, first time I went. That's
Which one, one or two, DL?
The second one. they both look alike. I said that's a sorry ass dude.
Yeah. Everybody said that. Steve Harvey said it. Everybody. Barbara Walters said Whoopi wouldn't come to my wedding. Everybody, everybody tried to tell me, and I have to take responsibility for that because I was in a place, like I said, in New York by myself, lonely. At the time, I was in my 40s. I was scared. I was like, I'm getting older. Right. Who gonna want to be in a relationship? Look, and I'm way older than when I got with him. And it was a lot of stuff that was done out of fear. I was also raised that in the church, you can't have sex before you get married. I was horny. Yeah, because the whole celibacy thing, and so it was that it's better to burn. It's better to get married than to burn. So I get married too because I was horny. Right. And look, and we never had sex.
So that was a clip from the D.L. Hughley show where Sherri was a guest, and she was on there talking about how she married her ex-husband out of fear and loneliness and because she was horny. And I want to talk about this because unfortunately Sherri's situation is typical for Black women. We tend to make poor romantic decisions out of desperation, and we end up paying a heavy price for those decisions. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about desperate dating. So just to give you some backstory, Sherri Shepard, she's an actress, she's a comedian, she's a TV personality, and she's been married twice. Her first husband was an actor. His name is Jeffrey Tarpey. They have a son. Her second husband, Lamar Sally, he is a TV writer. They also have a son via surrogate. And even though those two men, they're both in the industry, they're not really the average Black man. They're above average. I will say that. However, they make significantly less money than Sherri, and they always have. And it seems like every year for the past few years or so, Sherri has been in the news regarding both of her ex-husbands. She is paying both of them child support right now. They have both tried to get more child support from her over the years. And I also read that her first husband, he cheated on her. He had a baby with his mistress when they were married. Then her recent ex-husband, as you guys know, most of you guys should know, because it was a big mess a couple of years ago. But they agreed to have a child via surrogate when they were together because Sherri was unable to get pregnant and she had no viable eggs for IVF. So they went with the surrogate using his sperm and the surrogate's egg. At that time, he did say that he was not working. He was a house husband at the time, and he would take care of Sherri's son from her first marriage. And he said that one minute she was cool with him being a house husband, and the next minute she was complaining about her having to pay all the bills. And my thing is, if you had a problem with him not having a job, why on earth would you be trying to have a child with him? So that was her mistake. I mean, from the very beginning. Now she's saying that, when they first met, he didn't have a job. And I'm like, girl, why did you even get with him? Why did you even marry him? But according to her ex-husband, when the surrogate was pregnant with their child, Sherri decided that she didn't want the baby anymore and she did not want to be married to him. But she had already signed documents as the legal guardian. And so he filed for divorce. But according to Sherri, that wasn't the case. And this was a part of a scheme he had going all along to basically divorce her and get child support for the baby. And now she is paying him child support every month. I think she pays him like $4,000. And he tried to get more child support because Sherri's income increased, but he was denied. And I also saw some comments about the surrogate secretly being an ex-girlfriend of his, and they planned the scheme together, but I couldn't find any reports confirming that. And now, fast forward to today, as you saw, Sherri is on the D.L. Hughley show saying that the only reason why she married her ex-husband is because she was lonely and horny. And her husband has since come out saying that she needs to stop being so bitter. And even though Sherri doesn't really come across as bitter to me, anybody would be a little bitter about having to pay child support to two broke dusties that didn't want to work and kind of used you as a financial come up. But at the same time, I'm like, Sherri, you really were dumb. And now you're paying the price of your mistakes. And I understand her not wanting anything to do with the surrogate baby if she felt like she was being deceived. That baby really, is not attached to her in any way. It's not her biological child, which I am inclined to believe her story over his, because everyone was telling her not to marry him. So apparently everyone saw that this man was no good. So he probably did want to have a baby with Sherri just to get child support, just to have access to her money. But my thing is, Sherri, why did you marry him if he did not have a job? Why did you even go through that whole surrogate process if he did not have a job? But, it is what it is. At the end of the day, the baby did not ask to be here. It is partially Sherri's fault that the baby is here. So, I understand why she does have to pay that money every month. But it was just not a good decision on her part. And this is where I want to talk about making poor romantic decisions out of loneliness and desperation. Because this is a pattern across class, from your everyday black woman to rich and famous black women. We go into panic mode when we reach a certain age and we're ready to settle down, and we still haven't found that ideal black man. And let's just be honest, the more successful a black woman becomes, the less options she has if she wants a man on her level. And when you get to millionaire status, like where Sherri is at, it's very hard. And I have to say this, but it's especially hard if you are overweight, because you don't see a lot of millionaire men of any race with overweight or obese women. And, Sherri, she's lost a lot of weight, but, back in the day, she was heavy set. And again, you don't see many millionaire men, at least in the spotlight, who, have overweight women on their arms. So, it's just a little bit harder when you're overweight. So I get why Sherri was having a hard time. But ladies, if you can't find what you want as a successful woman, you need to change some things, and you need to make some adjustments that are going to expand your dating pool. And that could be getting down to an average weight. It could be expanding your options to other races of men. And if that's not working out, then be single until you can find a good choice. Because if you make romantic decisions out of loneliness and desperation, it's likely that you'll end up in an even worse situation than if you were to stay single. We see this with Mary J. Blige. She's paying thousands of dollars in alimony to her ex-husband. Jill Scott had to pay a large settlement to her ex-husband. Black women are constantly marrying down or marrying their staff, marrying the help, and they get got, and yes, men do it all the time, but y'all know I am not on the equality, anti-gender norm bandwagon over here. I believe that men should be the primary breadwinner in the relationship. I do feel like most men like to be productive. They feel needed when they provide. If they can offer a woman something she can't offer herself, they get a sense of pride out of that. Women do not, for the most part. Okay, men get a huge sense of pride out of providing for women and their children. And it's clear that when the woman makes more, there's a lot of examples out there proving that it usually does not work out. The woman starts to feel like the man in the relationship, and the man starts to feel emasculated. And listen, men will say they don't want to pay for this, or they don't want to pay for that, or they don't want to be at ATM for a woman. And I understand that men don't want, to be wanted only for their money. I don't think, they want that. But they do get mad when women don't see them as providers. It's like a diss to their manhood and their masculinity. Just as women will say they want all this equality and how it doesn't matter if they're the breadwinner in the relationship, but then they'll start complaining when they have to pull most of the weight and most of the burden, the financial burden, is on them. Now, if you're a woman who wants to take care of a grown-ass man, or you want to control him, that's your business, okay? If you and your man go 50-50, in your household, and that's working for you, great, okay? But many women, including myself, don't want that setup, and we have that right to not want that setup, just as you have the right to want what you want. I'm talking to the women who have a problem with this kind of role reversal situation, okay? And the men in my life, they don't want women taking care of them financially like man babies, okay? They take pride in taking care of the women in their life and bringing more to the table. And this brings me to the second part of this video. I want to talk about this tweet I was tagged in on Twitter. Crystalline was tagged in it. Kimmy too was tagged in it. Crystalline already did an excellent video on this. Definitely go check it out on her channel, Beyond Black and White. But this is a tweet from a black man named Bob Fondo, who is about to marry a beautiful black woman, beautiful dark-skinned black woman this weekend. And I'm going to read you this tweet. So he says, I want to share 10 things about this woman before we wed this weekend. 1, when I met her, I had no place to stay. I was sleeping on a couch at a friend's house, and she knew. Number 2, I found a place later on, and she helped pay my rent for months. 3, she got me my first car ever. 4, my laptop got damaged, and I needed it so much at the time so I could work on my things in order to earn something. She gave me hers. 5, she covered most costs for our dates for a year. 6, she invested in our first 2 businesses together and opted for me to run them full time. 7, I never met her mom until when I brought my family to meet hers. 8, she celebrated and congratulated me for any penny I made at the time, even when it was as little as $10. 9, she supported everything I was trying to do to make ends meet, whether it earned us money or not. 10, though I'm very stable and all that now, I know she doesn't really care about those things. She cares about me solely. I know she'd give me anything in the world if she had to, because she has proved it over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the kind of woman I'm marrying. Okay. This tweet has gone viral. So many women are talking about this. So many women and men are roasting this guy on Twitter, and rightfully so. And I'm going to say this, okay? I don't know if this woman is desperate. She is a very beautiful woman, so I'm sure she has options. But like Crystalline said, she doesn't seem to love herself, okay? You can be beautiful, you can be drop dead gorgeous and still have low self-esteem and a low sense of self-worth, okay? And you can't think you're worth much if you're taking care of a grown man who's supposed to be, you know, a romantic partner, if you're taking care of him like he's your little boy, okay? And I'm going to be honest, I feel kind of bad for her at this point because she's about to get married to this man, and this tweet went viral right before her wedding. And, you know, a lot of people are calling her an idiot. So I do kind of feel bad that we're, you know, shitting on her relationship right before she's getting married. But this needs to be said because unfortunately, this kind of behavior is expected from black women who look like her. It's this whole desperate dating, you know, and it's like it's just so ingrained in us that we just think it's normal. Dark-skinned black women are relegated to the come-up woman position. And like Crystalline said in her video, the problem is that we don't think we can do any better. And she said in her video, the problem is our culture. The culture teaches black women to rescue men instead of the other way around. And specifically, dark-skinned black women, because those are the main women I see doing stuff like this, y'all. And I'm tired of my image being shown this way as the come-up woman, the woman that, you know, does everything for a man with little in return. And as it's been pointed out several times, I mean, he didn't say anything about love or what he did for her. It was all about, you know, what she has done for him. And you know, black women, especially dark-skinned black women, we think we have to be the come-up woman and put in all of this work to get a ring, to get a husband. And this is partially why men don't expect us to have any standards, because we've accepted this position. And we're also pushing to be in this role reversed position with modern feminism. Many of us are actually fighting to be in the masculine position and be the come-up woman. Meanwhile, black men really don't expect non-black women to be the come-up woman, and not even mixed women in many cases. They come to them correct. They come to them with their shit already together. They come to them established. And I'm here to say, ladies, you don't have to do all of this for a ring, nor should you. Nor should you. This man maybe showing her all of this love on social media, but men generally don't respect a woman that doesn't ask anything of them, that doesn't require that they provide. There was one tweet that was perfect, and they said, yeah, he loves you like a mother. He loves you like he loves his mama, not his woman. Okay? Now, I don't know what his financial situation is now. And hey, you know, he might be a millionaire in the future. And I hope he does become a millionaire with all she put in, okay? But I'm here to tell you, ladies, that when a relationship starts this way, it usually ends this way. This will be one of those dudes. He might become a millionaire, and then he might leave her for a white woman or some racially ambiguous woman who wasn't willing to play the come up position. You know, or he'll never really progress financially, and she'll always find herself taking care of him. He'll be one of those dudes that can never keep a job. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes, like on again, off again type of dude, right? And if you look through his thread, you'll see how many black men are co-signing this. And that just lets me know that most black men don't want the traditional women that they say they do. And I know different men say different things, but I do feel like black men in general want to feel like leaders, and they want traditional women, but they're constantly co-signing non-traditional relationships. They'll say they want women who don't care about money, but listen, fellas, traditional women care about money. They care about money. They want men who can provide for them and their families. Yet black men, they will accept things like this. They will accept women who want to pay for everything, who want to go half. And then when they're being emasculated down the line, they'll cry about, you know, being emasculated, or the black community being a matriarchy and black women being too masculine. Or they'll cry about black women saying that we're strong and independent and don't need a man. Well, why would we think we need a man when, you know, you either allow this type of behavior or you co-sign black women taking care of grown-ass men? And it seems to me that black men want to be treated like patriarchs and providers without putting in the work, okay? You're not going to be treated like men when you allow or expect your woman to do all of the work. And like Crystalline said, you don't get femininity out of women that you're putting to work like men. You don't get femininity out of women like that. So I think that both black men and black women need to decide what they want to be, okay? You either want to destroy gender norms and, you know, be gender fluid and you want equality, or you want the black community to be more traditional and you want black men to be the providers and the leaders like other race men, and you want black women to be more feminine and needy, because let's just be honest, other race women are needy, okay? Instead of strong and independent. If you don't want black women running around saying they're strong and independent, they're going to be needy, okay? Independent, all right? Now, can there be some balance? Sure. Sure, we don't have to go all the way back to the 1950s, okay? But clearly, there's too much of an imbalance right now, and the men in the community want to be women, and the women want to be men. Just like A$AP Rocky said he wanted to be a bad bitch, and he wanted women to take him out to dinner. And see, black women didn't like that, but you still talking about how you want equality. That's equality, ladies. So you need to pick which one you want. Clearly, this is not working because neither side is happy with the outcome. See, this man is all happy-go-lucky right now on Twitter talking about how his, you know, fiance paid for everything. But as soon as he starts feeling emasculated, it's going to be a problem. So clearly this ain't working, y'all. Clearly it's not working. Black women, we need to stop accepting the masculine role in relationships. It's clear that we don't like it. So we need to start choosing real masculine men and stop dating out of desperation. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section, and I'll catch up with you in the next one.